Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. The great team, the people's team, that is what Corinthians have come to be called over the years. And this, of course, is the ultimate... Nunez! That was superb goalkeeping.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he? It might not be such a bad idea playing this short and into feet.
Yeah, they need to be thinking in terms of guile, deception, don't they? Pepe with the clearance. And now they can spring out of defence. And he was quick to react. Oh, it's a sweet ball, that. Nicely weighted ball. And it's Fernando Torres. Kagawa. Kagawa will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Yeah, Gabriel Jesus. He's up.
He's gone for Rafael Leao! And again the keeper stands strong.
Oh, that's a stunning save. I mean, his reflexes were incredible then. That's as good a save as you'll see.
Trauda works it forward and he cuts out the supply. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And it's Iniesta. But it has been just one side doing all of the early probing.
I know it's still early, but they're showing the better signs. No caution from them.
Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. That is a great kick out. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Can he finish? Goal! Corinthians!
Well, we've seen the hunger to win it back and the focus to make it count. A very tasty combination.
Corinthians have broken through. It's 1-0.
Well, I'd remind those players, Peter, that concentration will be key for a while now, as you don't want to hand the momentum straight back to your opposition.
Oh no, he's got that wrong. Stood up well to him there. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That was well played. Well stopped.
Kagawa. Darwin dominates aerially so often. It's Iniesta! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Corinthians have their second corner now. Climbs up big! Firm header just off target.
That's a great attempt, although he clearly feels he should have done better with it.
That has been cut short. Rafael Leao. He's got the shot away! He would have been quick to recover this. Well, he should have done better, and he knows it. Corinthians have their third corner. Up for a header! Oh, denied! Brilliantly!
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
He could be in here. Some resolute defending there. Schmeichel has been caught there. It's a foul. Just more than 15 minutes till half-time. Played into space out wide. Rafael Leao. And that's been intercepted. He's having a go! It's anyone's ball now.
He was berating his defence before making the save, and he's at it again now.
And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. And the score is 1-0. That is expertly dealt with. That pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
Tomori calmly anticipates. And that's a good ball. And that is masterful defending. Rafael Leao. He might be in here. Onana cuts it out. Oh, good-looking ball. Gabriel Jesus is herring after that one. Raul. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped. It looks very much like they'd be happy to settle for this narrow lead at the break.
And it's hoisted clear. Rafael Leao. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And here's Torres. Iniesta. And it's Fernando Torres. Torres is fouled. He's pulled off a fine save.
Well, I thought his starting position was good, and that helped the keeper to judge the flight of the ball and deal with it well.
Corinthians have the chance to go the other way. And here's Jesus.
Foram indicados 2 minutos de acréscimo.
He's a little undercooked. And here's Jesus. Oh, that's well spotted. Here's the whistle for half-time. Oh, it's a half which has simmered along nicely, warming up to what may be a more open second half to follow. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Well, I think there's plenty to be pleased about with that first half display in terms of the score and overall approach.
Corinthians come off having scored the only goal of the game so far. It's been tight, it's been exciting, and there is certainly plenty for us to chew on during the break. And we are back underway. Corinthians carrying a one-goal lead. Getting too much time on the ball here, that is good pressing. And that has put paid to that. Lovely ball and a real chance now. He's quick to get it clear again. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Pepe can get it clear. Onana. And here's the chance to counter. Oh, perfectly measured that. He's found a way through. Great chance! Good run, lovely take, but that is where it stopped.
It was such a clever idea to lift it into his path.
He's got plenty of space out wide here. He's shifting through the gears here.
Substituição.
Corinthians get their fourth corner. It's a decent clearance. And he's had a hit! Decent enough try.
Well, he doesn't need a second invitation, even from that range.
Darwin being hunted in packs.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to snuff out the threat now to turn into indiscipline.
Rafael Leao is flagged offside.
Público presente na partida de hoje.
reached the hour mark.
espectadores.
And it's been given away. Stefan Savic. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, I'm inclined to feel that if I was in that dugout, I'd want the players to get on the front foot and grab another. Just try to make this one safe.
Well timed, excellent interception. Iniesta. Van de Ven kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. So what can they make of this?
Corinthians couldn't really be more watertight in midfield. Not a trickle is getting through.
Guerrero. Onana. That looks a decent ball.
Oh, that's such a good run. More of that, please.
Not pretty, but it gets the job done.
Well, it's good stuff. This is better.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
He's going to be disappointed with that. Oh, there's a probing ball. Well seen. Saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Onana. Closing in on the last quarter of an hour. Now it's Iniesta. He can get that clear. Oh, Red, nice interception. Ferran Torres. Rafael Leao. Good read, needed to be.
There's a real appetite from them to finally put this game to bed, but will they?
And he was quick to react. Savic gets across to intercept that. Nunez! And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside. Time for a change in personnel. Kimmich does well to get it back. Tentrauda kept his eye on it, and he's there. And it's Guerrero. Aimed beyond the defence. Gakpo. It's Darwin, out to the right. Nunez.
Corinthians certainly don't need to overcommit now. Their priority lies further back.
And here's Rafael Leao. Now it's Darwin. Very much into the last knockings. Ferran Torres. Good alertness.
Foram indicados 2 minutos de
2
acréscimo.
minutes to be added on.
Oh, that was expansive and insightful.
Goes in for the header! And it's in! 2 ahead, late in the day. Game over, surely.
Yeah, I'd call that transition with bite. They won it back and bit hard.
2 up and very little time left. Surely this is it. Well, he's going for goal. Well, the ball's come loose here. Close, but time for no more. The whistle has gone. What a satisfying performance. A performance at times of determination and occasionally magic. Simply... Oh, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. Well, it was 2014 that Corinthians relocated to this high-tech arena. This the ultimate demonstration of their power as a club revered amongst the world's supporters. Their fan base believed to be somewhere in the region of 30 million people.
If you're just joining us, we are already underway. And it's a corner.
Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
Sakai gets it away.
Neither of these two want to come off second best. And now a sudden chance to counter. Rafael Leao!
And the keeper couldn't hold it.
That's a half-decent try.
A more than decent attempt, Peter.
Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Yeah, Gabriel Jesus, he's always going to be a massive threat, Peter. And that's primarily because his movement off the ball is so effective. Even if he doesn't end up touching the ball, he usually plays a part in his team's attacking plays because he's dragged people out of position, and that can be an obvious help to those around him. He's full of enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Now it's Darwin. And it's Iniesta. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him. Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
And he cuts out the supply. Kagawa. Van de Ven did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. He's found a way through.
It's Gabriel Jesus!
He almost caught everyone out there the way he just eked out the room to get the shot in.
Squeeze it through. So we're still where we started right now. And here's Nunez. Kagawa. Nunez! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Nunez actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest. There's a defensive height advantage here, Peter, but of course it's not guaranteed to work.
Yeah, they need to be thinking in terms of guile, deception, don't they? And he gets rid in a hurry. And now they can spring out of defence. Iniesta.
Oh, that's such a good run. More of that, please.
Nunez herring after the ball here. And reclaimed it in a trice. Rao. And it's hoisted clear. Sakai is very much the model of the modern-day fullback. Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, that's wonderful alertness. And that was very necessary. Petrauda. Kagawa did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Onana getting on for a third of the way through the game. Rafael Leao. No, that's been intercepted. Can he spark a counter here? For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. And now they can clear their lines. He's had it nicked away. Can he latch on to this? Oh, that's a key interception. Long ball by the goalkeeper. Rafael Leao engages and forces him off the ball. That is shows good alertness.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
Jones is herring after that one. Rafael Leao. There's no such thing as a bad time to score, but this would sure be a good time. Mosquera gets over and intercepts.
That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Gabriel Jesus.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Onana. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Iniesta looking to penetrate opposition lines. Oh, and he's through the middle. Gabriel Jesus is onto it in a flash. It's Iniesta! And it's a goal!
Look, there are always tactical adjustments for any coach to make at half-time, but when your star man gives you a critical lead just before the break, everyone will be paying extra attention. It really is the ideal tonic. Yeah, the pass was bang on, and he just had to ensure he didn't stray offside. The finish was actually bang on too.
That is going to be the final action of the first half. So there we are, half-time. Both teams head into their respective dressing room. And, well, there was a genuine flow about the game. Most importantly, there has been just one telling moment. It is still very tight here. The game still up for grabs. And the half-time score, 1-0. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, I think there's plenty to be pleased about with that first half display in terms of the score and overall approach.
Corinthians come in, having established that lead. Okay, where the narrative is, at least in terms of the scoreline, so far so good. If you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half. A solitary goal, that has been the crucial difference. Torres! Oh, he has leathered that.
Well, that was smashed with venom, violence even. All he had to do was hit the target. It's such a shame.
Pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Guerrero. That is ended up in no man's land. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
And it's Iniesta. Kagawa. Corinthians have themselves a corner, I think. Yes, they do. Corner number 2 then. And the goalkeeper's got a good palm to that. There's the cross. That has been knocked clear. And now a sudden chance to counter. Nicely intercepted. Short changes him with that pass. Torres. Jones.
Might want to be careful there.
The referee's awarded a free kick. Corinthians just about have their noses in front. It is the slenderest of leads. Oh, that's well spotted.
Público presente
Running
na
strong
partida
and
de
purposeful.
hoje.
Has been cut short.
60.179 espectadores.
And here's Torres. He just refused to budge, and he's got his way. Now, what about a counter-attack? Oh, Red, nice interception. Now it's Torres. Iniesta. It's Darwin. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, this lead is beginning to look a little delicate. I'd rather see them show the ambition and adventure to go further ahead. But it seems as if they've settled for a riskier approach now to defend this.
That pass isn't the best. Stefan Savic. And it's Fernando Torres. Corinthians leading then, courtesy of the goal scored late in the first half here. 1-0 the score. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. Tomori makes the interception. Gakpo.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Teremos uma substituição.
Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. Now that's well seen too. Onana. Ferran Torres. Gakpo. He's going for goal! Should have equalised.
Oh, that could prove a pivotal moment in this match. They needed that goal badly, you know.
Substituição no time do
Can now
Corinthians.
introduce the first of their
Camisa
substitutes.
10.
Antonio to come on, a change that had been mooted for a while.
Yeah, I think the manager might have feared his team could become a little tentative, conservative even, Peter. But this will make a nice change.
Good looking ball.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
Now it's Iniesta. Gakpo. Ferran Torres. Guerrero. Oh, smashing header! And the lead stays intact, just. Chip through. Oh, the chip pass hasn't quite come off. Torres is herring after that one. Gakpo. Into the last 5 minutes. And he's there to belt it away. Well, they've got it back in a hurry. And here's Torres.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
I think we're just about done here.
Well, he got rid
Foram
because he was under
indicados
pressure.
2 minutos de acréscimo.
And it's Sakai. That's that, the end. Corinthians have done it. Their solitary strike ultimately proving just enough. A terrific win, however you look at it. Iniesta picking up the Man of the Match award, and no surprise there. And after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
And there's a lot more to...
welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. The great team, the people's team. That is what Corinthians have come to be called over the years. And this, of course, is the ultimate sanctuary for those who only see black and white. We have already started here. Torres was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Torres, Mosquera promptly onto that, and that is that. Passing is crisp and sharp. Jones. Now who's going to be first to this? Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Rafael Leao, Peter, is one player who could be unstoppable if he's in the mood. Easily one of the fastest players I've ever seen. He's capable of taking on multiple defenders, and he can cause imbalances for any defence. And that's their problem, because so many want to try and get to.
Gakpo is firing after that one. Rafael Leao. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, both sides seem happy with the patient approach for now, still trying to have a good look at one another.
Real chance! Oh, so close to what would have been a memorable goal.
Gakpo certainly had a very good sight of goal, and he would have fancied a better outcome then.
Gakpo. Jones. Jones unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Well, it's ended up in no man's land. So it is still 0-0. Fernando Torres! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
And we have our very first corner. And it's been taken short. And now a sudden chance to counter. And here's Torres. He's in plenty of space here. It's in, and that looks to me very much like an own goal.
I don't think he knew too much about it, Peter. It comes off him awkwardly.
Well, who saw that coming? It has certainly made things interesting.
Well, that's something you don't expect at a match like this, but I guess you have to take whatever way it comes, and very gratefully.
And reclaimed it in a trice. Van de Ven. That's a nicely measured pass. And he's gone looking for safety.
Corinthians are really in a position where patience and...
Torres!
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
That's really well manoeuvred. Gives it back.
He had nobody else to help out there.
And he's straight offside.
Just as I thought, Peter, it looks like this is a side that's setting themselves up for a counter-attack.
Yeah, stand by for the early ball, the big one over the top.
Yeah, and those that are up top, Peter, have to be willing to chase. And of course, those in midfield have to be ready now to recycle.
And they have got just the right players for that. He's had a hit! Oh, denied! Brilliantly!
Gakpo clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Corner number 2 then. Guerrero goes short. Can he finish? Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. Mosquera gets good distance on it. And it's Guerrero. Jones. Can he get away here.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Iniesta. Strong running down that left flank. Now it's Rafael Leao. Nunez. Provedel deals with it effortlessly.
Corinthians truly have no need to panic. They can reassess at half-time.
Iniesta. Well, that looks a good ball through. A lot of space ahead of him. Can he put it away? He scores! Corinthians are back in business.
Corinthians clearly executed that with considerable confidence. It only took seconds to score once the ball was recovered.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Yeah, it's a very good contest with two very good sides, and with such great individual talent on show, it could go either way. Nunez, well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much. I think he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get
Foram
others into the
indicados
match.
2 minutos de acréscimo.
Goal, Corinthians! And the comeback is complete.
That looks like a preconceived plan. Win the ball and then unleash.
Corinthians take the lead. There's the end of the first half. Oh, what a comeback. Certainly I didn't see that coming, nor I think did many in this crowd.
Look, the standout moment of the first half was obviously the own goal, but the current scoreline more than makes up for it.
Corinthians leading by 1 in a finely poised game. It is intriguing to watch and could easily go either way. And we are already promptly back underway. That's been cut out, well played. Jones, and it's Fernando Torres. That has not gone well. Darwin, now it's Rafael Leao. Jones, he's going to be disappointed with that. Nunez. Jones. So what can they make of this? Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
That just required a bit more oomph to reach its target.
Opts to Rafael Leao! Rafael Leao! Now he wants to get in on the act here.
Corinthians really putting a few chances together here. Taking one can only add to such good momentum now.
Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Struck first time. Got to be quick to recover this. Van der Ven does really well to win the ball there. Gakpo. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Nice sequence of passes this. Well read, and the danger is averted. Kagawa. There's the
Público
shot!
presente na partida de
Great
hoje.
build-up. It all deserved a better ending.
61.052
Deserves a lot of
espectadores.
credit for his willingness to make those runs. The passers will always have an option with him.
And now they can spring out of defence. Iniesta.
Yeah, we get to see this more and more. Defenders popping up in these positions.
Pepe can get it clear. Rafael Leao! Rafael Leao proving dependable as ever. Another terrific day at the office for him.
Well, not only can a player of such high caliber show the imagination to set up a goal, but he can also produce when the pressure's on to deliver a big moment. This guy was born to create.
Van der Ven kept his eye on it, and he's there. Aims beyond the defence. That's been intercepted. Liverpool. And it's Kagawa. Nunez. Oh, important interception. Onana. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
It's Iniesta! That was superb goalkeeping.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Substituição.
Corinthians have their third corner. And now a sudden chance to counter. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Nunez! And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Sakai is very much the model of the modern-day fullback.
Corinthians surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
Played back in. There they go, hunting in packs. That's a good block, but at the expense of a corner. So their fourth corner of the game. Van der Ven gets it away. And now a sudden chance to counter. Gabriel Jesus.
It's a decent chance to counter-attack.
That's a shade optimistic. And he was quick to react. Bops it off it and wins back the ball. Here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. Tomori gets over and intercepts. Chance here to counter. Skriniar makes the interception. It's just beyond his reach. Well, played right into his path. Very nicely done.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here.
Oh, Red, nice interception. Ferran Torres. And the pass is intercepted. Kagawa. Sakai to get on the end of
Minuto de
this.
acréscimo.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
That has been cut short. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. Corinthians have done it with iron, with pragmatism, the sort you expect from a team like this. Admirable in... So welcome one and all to a picturesque evening here. A clear night, all the ingredients for a showcase game that the passionate crowd demands. Well, it was 2014 that Corinthians relocated to this high-tech arena. This the ultimate demonstration of their power as a club revered amongst the world's supporters. Their fan base believed to be somewhere in the region of 30 million people.
We have already started here.
This interception, his positioning was spot on.
He's got the shot away!
Danger averted for now. That's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him. If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Now it's Torres.
And he's on his way!
He can get that clear. That is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Jones! So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Well, Peter, the inclusion of this fella, Mickey van de Ven, is probably an indication that the boss wants to play out from the back. I mean, we all talk about how brilliant his recovery pace is when it comes to defending, but he's actually quite tasty on the ball too, particularly with his long-range passing, and he loves those diagonals at times, and he's one to watch out for.
Well, quite no argument from me on that one. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And here's Nunez. Iniesta. He's going for goal! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure. The taker has to look for options, because an aerial supply doesn't look promising here.
Yeah, they've got to find a way around this huge height disadvantage. And now a sudden chance to counter. Jones. Shapes to shoot! So a third of the match or thereabouts gone, and we still await the first goal. Sakai. Nunez.
He's had a hit!
And for a moment, time stood still.
Well, one sloppy lapse like that can do a lot of damage, and it was triggered by the closing down.
Passing is crisp and sharp. Petrauda. Petrauda stood his ground strongly. Well seen, saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And he thumps it clear. Taken back almost at once. And back to the keeper they go. Jones. Onana. Chance! Just a whisker away. That is a great pick out. Big chance! Goal! Corinthians! Oh, that is tidy. It is a picture-book goal.
Well, he had time to weigh up the fact that the keeper was vulnerable, and he duly lobbed him.
A 1-0 lead established.
Well, I'd remind those players, Peter, that concentration will be key for a while now, as you don't want to hand the momentum straight back to your opposition.
Well, the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point, and the score is 1-0. He's tried one! That's got him rattled. And that's another good win of the ball.
I
That was good alertness. Fernando Torres.
It looks very much like they'd be happy to settle for this narrow lead at the break.
And they're not going to make any further progress now. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Half-time getting close now. Good read, needed to be. Corinthians ran themselves into the proverbial cul-de-sac there. Passes coming off in quick succession here. Oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
He's not got that quite right. Oh, great hit! And he's straight offside.
Teremos minuto de acréscimo.
Onana. And it's Iniesta. Rafael Leao. Oh, no joy this time. And the first half is done. So there we are, half-time. Both teams head into their respective dressing room. And while there was a genuine flow about the game, most importantly, there has been just one telling moment. It is still very tight here. The game still up for grabs. And the half-time score, 1-0.
I thought that was a decent 45 minutes of football. Plenty of signs that both managers can take a lot of encouragement from. I would say the mood is neither overly negative nor positive. You still have to approach this like it's 0-0.
Corinthians leading 1-0 at the break. If you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half. Corinthians carrying a one-goal lead. Could have been dangerous, but it came to nothing. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Yeah, the idea was right. The delivery wasn't. They can revisit that further on.
That's been cut out, well played. But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority, a cause of mild frustration.
Sakai. Savic tries to clear. Corinthians are still that goal to the good. Realm. Bout of passing here, really he's having a go! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
Substituição.
Corinthians have their second corner now. And now they can spring out of defence.
Público
How many
presente na
interceptions
partida
have we
de
seen now?
hoje.
Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
espectadores.
Quarter of an hour into the second half. Sakai cuts out the pass. That's a little loose. He's found a way through.
Well, it's good stuff. This is better.
They're coming again and again.
You know, the interest value in this game might just take off from here.
It's gone out for a throw-in. And it's Guerrero. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, it's a natural instinct to defend when ahead, but it's too early for them to settle into that practice just now.
He gets big! They've done it! 2 up and threatening to pull clear. Simple, certain, effective. He just guided it in.
That's terrific aggression, the way he attacked the ball.
Corinthians are doing very nicely, thank you.
We're looking at a very different game now. The command has been established.
And here's Jesus. Guerrero.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
Oh, well played, well sorted out. Can he get onto this? Oh, important interception. That pass is somewhat less than ideal.
That was just poor decision-making and a weak execution.
He's given it. There's the shot! Yes! And surely that settles it.
The keeper deserves some sympathy there. He may not have seen that until too late.
Oh no, this does not look good. Darwin has a goal! It's loose and there's a race for the ball.
It's the sort of situation that they'll want to capitalise on now.
Kagawa. It's Kagawa! And he should have made it four.
Well, we were anticipating this. They're very much set up for the counter-attack, and I don't see it changing anytime soon.
That has been knocked clear. And now a sudden chance to counter. Just the keeper to beat! Dealt with nicely by the defence.
Variety is the spice of footballing life too. They need to alter their approach and start shifting this.
And he's had a hit! Smashing save, really good save that.
Corinthians just served up a reminder of how good they can be on the break. Their method is clear.
And it's hoisted clear. Has a shot! You've got to be quick to recover this. It's run loose, who's going to get there? And now they can spring out of defence.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
The final 5 minutes. Kagawa, and that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
This is promising. Kagawa. Oh, good ball. And the shot! Goal! It is no contest. It is a landslide. Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Yeah, he won the jostle, and it was a very good...
And another try! And the ball's come loose here. Board shows there will be 3 extra minutes. Oh, easy pickings there. Savic. Iniesta. So that's it. It is all over. Corinthians, just a thrill to witness here. Quick, slick, and such fun. You really would fear for anyone playing up against them right now. Darwin picking up the Man of the Match award. Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. The great team, the people's team. That is what Corinthians have come to be called over the years. And this, of course, is the ultimate sanctuary for those who only see black and white.
The action has already started. He's having a go. Magnificent!
As openings go, this is up there. Another magnificent finish from Mr. Magnificent. This could be good, very good. Yeah, they've only got themselves to blame. Mistakes in those areas are very punishable.
So, a breakthrough already. Iniesta. That's not going far. Changes him with that pass. Iniesta. Back into the middle. Fernando Torres. And here's the chance to counter. And it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority, a cause of mild frustration.
Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. That pass is somewhat less than ideal. Look, he's got a side of goal! Oh, the ball's come loose here. Oh, look at the space here. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other.
I'm struggling to work out whether that was brave or a bit stupid. Maybe both, actually.
Raul. Now it's Rafael Leao.
Just as I thought, Peter, it looks like this is a side that's setting themselves up for a counter-attack.
Yeah, stand by for the early ball, the big one over the top.
Yeah, and those that are up top, Peter, have to be willing to chase. And, of course, those in midfield have to be ready now to recycle.
And they have got just the right players for that. Jones. Raul. So just the one early goal to report so far. 1-0 the score. Jones. That's a little off target.
He's got the shot away!
And he gets rid in a hurry. Darwin. So what can they make of this? That's a nicely measured pass.
Shot a goal! It's in! 2 up now, and they are cruising.
There was no getting to that. No getting to it at all. Expertly done.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
So that's 2 now without reply.
Well, now's the time you can afford to be more daring, Peter. It may be tempting to sit on this, but I'd say go and grab a third.
Kagawa. Defending was strong and firm. That's clear cut. It's a free kick. Loose now and they want to get it back.
Tries to shoot!
Oh, just lacked a decent finish.
Corinthians couldn't really be more watertight in midfield. Not a trickle is getting through.
Jones. The pass is intercepted.
This is the time you need that pace.
Oh, facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup. Nicely intercepted. Corinthians heading towards the half-time break. The wind very much in their sails. And he's picked out the run. Darwin is sporting a guilty look after that.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Great defending, strong and determined. Kagawa. Now it's Rafael Leao. Oh, that's well spotted. Onana. Passing is crisp and sharp. Forwards and with intent.
It's the sort of situation that they'll want to capitalise on now.
No, it's not getting there. Now looking to orchestrate a counter. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins. Nunez! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Nunez actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Corinthians with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually.
Foram indicados 2 minutos de acréscimo.
Jones, oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him. Look, movement creates more options, and that was really sharply done.
Well, they could break here. And it's Fernando Torres, and he's got the beating of his man. And Torres! A decent effort as the first half draws to a close. Reflections on the first half?
Well, it's looking pretty straightforward, Peter. They've got themselves into a very good position, so why dither from here when they can repeat their first half success with another show of strength?
Corinthians sitting pretty here at half-time, 2-0 up. And we are back on the way. So both teams emerge the same as they were before the break. Still no way through. The defending here is resolute. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Nice interception, well timed. And now the breakaway. Now it's Torres. Corinthians can breathe again, just.
Well, that tackle was immense, and so was the relief. The great escape.
And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And that's been intercepted.
That was well played. Well,
And the finish! It's loose, and there's a race for the ball. Well seen, saw that coming.
he read that really well and stopped it. Are certainly playing with an intense focus in executing their plan here.
Sakai carries the ball down the right. In with a header! Rafael Leao! Early stages of the second half, and still two between them. Kentrauda gets across to intercept that. Out to the left it goes. Could have been dangerous, but it came to nothing. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
That was just poor decision-making
Público
and
presente
a
na
weak
partida de
execution.
hoje. 61.052
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Substituição.
And it's been taken short. Caught offside that time. Iniesta, and the flag has stayed down. No, No way through.
That's positional gold, the utilisation of space.
Pass just lacking in accuracy. Rafael Leao. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Gakpo. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. Skriniar promptly onto that, and that is that. It's a sharp little ball here. He's played him through. Gabriel Jesus. He's done very well to take that back. No way through, so back it comes.
Variety is the spice of footballing life too. They need to alter their approach and start shifting this ball out wide.
Iniesta!
Substituição em andamento.
That's an excellent interception.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
No joy this time. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Schmeichel gets it away. That has been cut short. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. It's Gabriel Jesus! And that's a real chance missed.
It's a good display of fighting spirit for me.
Nunez! Nunez! Oh, it looked like 3-0 for sure.
Nunez should really have closed the game out then, and this could come back to haunt him.
Oh, he's burst through! Dealt with nicely by the defence. And there's green grass ahead of him. That's cause for mild irritation. Gabriel Jesus. Mosquera cuts it out. He won't be happy with that one. Gabriel Jesus. Oh, red. Nice interception. That is a little undercooked. Ferran Torres. He's looking to set free a runner. He's through here.
Footballing with usually identical.
It's anyone's ball now.
Minuto de
There'll be
acréscimo.
a minute of stoppage time.
They need to play this quicker in transitions like this.
Sakai makes the interception. And there goes the final whistle. Well, don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Victory never in doubt in the mind of the mastermind in all of this. A solid win, which will...